Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So for today's video, we are going to be tackling a very interesting question and doing a little bit of Halo lore history, sort of. Not exactly lore, but more of just like Halo history in general. So recently, I've seen a lot of debates going on around Twitter, on Halo Reddit, and so on forums and stuff, about, there's like two sides of this argument, but some people are saying that like in the newer Halo games, Master Chief talks too much. He's like a chatterbox, I believe is the term used. While others claim that Master Chief doesn't talk enough in the old games and that it makes him seem like a robot. Well, both sides make very compelling arguments. Some people prefer Master Chief to be more of a silent protagonist, and the fact that he doesn't talk much, if I didn't know any better, I would say that Master Chief was a robot. Nah. But in all seriousness, it's actually interesting that people would describe Master Chief as a robot. In the earlier Halo games especially, and it's not necessarily due to like bad writing or bad storytelling or bad narration on Bungie's part, but I think it's actually more to do with what Master Chief's character was originally supposed to be, which is where the question of was Master Chief supposed to be a robot comes in, and the answer is yes, I believe at least. I don't know for a fact that was the case, but there's very strong evidence pointing to that. And I would strongly say that at some point in early Halo development, before Halo CE came out, Master Chief was originally intended to be a robot. So there's a lot of evidence of that, both in pre-release trailers and the final game. So let's take a look at some of the evidence right now. The first piece I'm going to show you guys is what Master Chief sounded like in the very first E3 trailer for Halo CE. This is like way back before Halo 1 actually came out, and it was a lot different back then. A lot of stuff looked different. Graphics were not as good as the final game, and Master Chief's voice, most importantly, is very different and sounds very robotic. I'm gonna let you listen here and just so you guys can hear what he sounded like, and we will see what I'll be back after that. So here you go.
Recon reporting. Hostiles have been neutralized.
Say again? Over.
The drop zone is clear. I repeat, the drop zone is clear.
Understood.
Can you walk?
Cortana told us one of you was on board, but I didn't believe her.
Enemy Airborne Battalion inbound. Let's get you on board.
You're staying?
Yes. My battle has just begun.
Alright, so as you just heard there, Master Chief originally, before the final version of Halo CE came out, sounded very robotic. Not only did he talk very monotone, but his voice also had that like robotic sound effect. I don't know quite how to describe it, but you should know, like the stereotypical robot sound effect. And yeah, basically the only times we heard him talk in that trailer, you would have definitely thought he was a robot back at the time. If you didn't know any better, you would say that Master Chief was a robot. Actually, if you guys are getting that reference that I'm making, make sure to post that in the comments below. I'm curious how many people actually got it. But anyways, so moving right along. Obviously, the final version of Halo CE changed Master Chief to a more human voice with a little more emotion. Definitely not, robotic, and he doesn't have the robotic sound effect anymore when he talks. However, not everybody got the memo with that. And what I mean by that is the Japanese dub of Halo CE actually still has Master Chief with the robotic sound effect. Let me let you listen to a little bit of Master Chief's Japanese dialogue, and then you can see that he still sounds like a robot in the Japanese version, at least for Halo 1. But anyways, I'll let you listen now, and I'll be right back after that.
Halo の防御システムを起動し、フラットを全滅させることだ。それでいいんで。もういい。フラットは増殖している。ヘイローの防御システムを起動したら奴らを一掃できる。他に生き残ったもの。
ヘイローか、終わったわね。
いや、たった今始まったわけです。
Alright, so as you heard there, in the Japanese dub of Halo CE, Master Chief clearly still sounds like a robot. He still talks pretty monotone and emotionless, and he has that robot sound effect overall, which no other language has that. Not English, not any other language that was dubbed in. So for some reason, I guess when they did the Japanese dubs, they never got the memo that maybe Master Chief's character was changed, or perhaps they didn't get the memo in time because they already finished the Japanese dub early on and pretty quickly, before the decision was made to change Master Chief to a more human character. I'm not sure, that's just speculating, but that's not like how Master Chief sounds to the rest of the Halo games with Japanese. They obviously updated his voice later on to sound more human, and this is what it sounds like in Halo 2, and as well as later Halo games. But let me let you listen really quick.
相棒はどこへ向かっている？
大艦隊で地球に向かわれたらもう打つ手はないわ。奴を止めなきゃ。
インデックスはブルートが握っている。ミランダとジョンソンの命も。奴がリングを作動させたら。
その時。
So yeah, as you can see there, they definitely changed Master Chief's voice after Halo 1 for Japanese, and it's consistent with the rest of the languages at that point. So, like I said, at some point, Master Chief was supposed to be a robot, and I guess when they did Japanese dubs, they didn't get the memo in time, or at all. So that's why he still retains that robotic sounding voice in the Japanese dub, just like he had in the English trailer, the English E3 trailer before Halo 1 came out. So that is not the only evidence though. The biggest piece of evidence actually is in the final version of the game on both the PC and Xbox version. If you use mod tools to open up the game files to look at the tags, actually, let me bring that up so I can show you guys and explain it as we go along. So here we have a tool called Halo Hacker Tools, but it doesn't have to be this one. It could be any tool that can open up Halo maps to show you the tags and everything. There's a lot of those tools out there, so that doesn't matter. But in this tool, if we look at the tags, more specifically, we look at the bipeds. Bipeds are like, the actual characters in the game that you can spawn and stuff. Under biped, if we look at what Master Chief is, his is called a cyborg. So there's no actual, in the later Halo games, Halo 2 and beyond, it just says Master Chief as far as his biped goes. But in Halo 1 and Halo CE, his biped actually says Cyborg, as well as Cyborg unarmed, whenever he's unarmed, I guess in cutscenes and stuff. But as you can see, in the game files, he was called Cyborg, and I guess the decision to change him to more human was made so late at the point that they didn't have time to change his tags to Master Chief, so they just called it Cyborg, or they just left it as Cyborg. But as you can see, he was definitely meant to be a cyborg. Now the difference between a cyborg and a robot, a cyborg is something that's like, it's like the Terminator actually. It's like a robot, but like it's also partially like human. It's a cybernetic organism, to quote the Terminator from Terminator 2. But actually no, from all the Terminator movies, they make that reference about cybernetic organisms. But yeah, so at one point Master Chief was supposed to be a cyborg. Now, from what we know about Spartans and how they work, their suits, how they were created and so on, they're not really that far from cyborgs to begin with. But that being said, what we actually know from Halo lore now and everything, Master Chief is not half robot, half human. He is a genetically enhanced super soldier. He does have like implants and other stuff in his suit to help him that's almost like robotic, but it doesn't really make him half robot. So while Master Chief may have at one point was meant to be robotic, and that probably affected his levels of dialogue and the depth of his dialogue, which is not much depth at all, that's probably why. So for all the people who have been saying that like Master Chief in the earlier Halo games sound robotic, or like like he was like a robot, he didn't talk much until Halo 4 and they made him more human, they're not actually wrong. I mean, yeah, he kind of was meant to be a robot. Now, in Halo 1, if you really think about it, Master Chief really does not say much. Like my friend and I, we actually thought about this the other day, and we were actually able to like count all the lines that Master Chief says in Halo 1, like off the top of our head, and he really doesn't say much. He doesn't really say much in Halo 2 or 3 either, but he does say more, and he does say it more humanly, I guess, to put it. But he, in Halo 1 at least, I would say the reason why there's not much depth to his character, why he's mostly quiet, why he doesn't talk much, is probably because earlier in development he was meant to be a robot or cyborg, and by the time they decided to change him to more human, as far as the lore goes, they didn't have time to rewrite his entire dialogue and stuff. And I guess for Halo 2 and Halo 3, they kept up that trend somewhat. And I'm not entirely sure why they didn't make his character more deep in those games. Maybe because at that point they were still kind of like dabbing around keeping Master Chief like somewhat like more robotic. But either way, neither side is wrong about the whole Master Chief in the earlier Halo games versus the later Halo games with how much he talks and the depth of his character. They're both right. I mean, the newer Halo games, they do try to make him more human, and he is human. But for the people who defend him being robotic in the earlier Halo games, he was also supposed to be robotic at some point early in development. Obviously, he's not robotic in the final game, but it definitely affected his character at some point. But yeah, so that about sums us up. Master Chief, to answer the question one more time, yes, at some point Master Chief was supposed to be a robot, or at least a cyborg, but obviously they scrapped that idea later on, but some of it was still there, and that's what made up the evidence of this game, of this video, I mean. But yeah, so hopefully you guys found this video to be interesting, and if you did enjoy this and want to see more like this, make sure to leave a like, and definitely leave your thoughts and comments about that. And you know, if there's anything else for me to check out or look into, or any other questions want me to answer about Halo history, or maybe even Halo lore, I don't know, I could try to tackle it. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to look into it. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.